All right, y'all, next video. Why JID wants to leave Dreamville and J. Cole. Yeah, we're going to take a little minute to talk about JID here. Y'all, JID is easily one of my favorite rappers, or probably my favorite. I grew up listening to Cole, Kendrick, and they've always been my 1A and 1B. But to be honest, like, JID is right up there. He 1C. 1C. And honestly, I'm excited for him to release his project. Last year, he said he was going to release a project with Metro Boomin, and it never came. Maybe Metro abandoned him for that future album, but we're gonna go ahead and check this out, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all think. By the way, we're live on Twitch, so make sure you drop a follow to pull up. Just let me know you're from YouTube, and I'll greet you with a warm welcome. Y'all can give me music recommendations, video recommendations, or you can just hang out, vibe, game with us. But let's see what hold on, this is from Fantastic Hip Hop. Y'all go check them out. The original video is gonna be in the description.
A year ago, there was no label seen as a better place to be as a hip hop. Now, just about a year ago, there was no label seen as a better place to be as a hip-hop artist than J. Cole's Dreamville imprint, as beyond all the emerging talent the label harvested, all of the artists on the label were actually releasing music and being active participants in and around hip-hop culture, and each time anyone came out with something new, it was clear that these artists were growing and improving on their craft at a rapid rate that only few crews in this day and age could match, and at the center of this all, there was no one more important to the future of Dreamville than J.I.D. As between the momentum he created from his insane and dynamic array of features, which saw him team up with everyone from Eminem to Imagine Dragons, to his ability as a hitmaker, which saw him make more and more viral songs as he grew as an artist, to ultimately the fact that in an era where most new MCs just don't have the level of attention and care to create a decent album, that JID made what many people would deem a modern classic in his 2022 project, The Forever Story. Overall, just in a matter of a few years, J.I.D. became one of the biggest names on the horizon in hip-hop, and it seemed like with the rapid success and career growth that he has been seeing, that he would have a real chance to join rap's next big three in the near future. But now, as album Forever in a Day has been ready, as JID has promised us that his upcoming new album Forever in a Day has been ready to release once at the end of 2020.
That's the name of it?
2023, and then again at the beginning of 2024, as we are now here almost
he said he turned the project in. Dreamville, what's good? Because that whole situation with Ari Lennox I thought was pretty interesting, you know, when she was saying she wanted to get out her deal. Earth Gang just went independent. Like, they're still under Dreamville, I think, like for management and stuff, but they went independent with their last project. So it's like clearly there's something going on, and I wonder, like, are we just seeing the limitations of being on a artist run label? Because like I always feel like Dreamville really broke the mold and the pattern of like artist run labels not doing well in terms of like their individual artists. But to be honest, like, I'm wondering if it was J. Cole's rollout that got in the way because he had Might Delete Later. I wonder, because like Ari Lennox had some similar issues with like her album or the songs rolling out, the promotion. But I don't know, like I just feel like it's either got to be the label or maybe it was Metro Boomin, because if Metro was working with Future, what he had like 2 projects with Future last year, that's obviously gonna take priority over JID. So I wonder if he made him hold so we could roll out the other thing, because I think that what was it called, We Don't Trust You, I think that came out early last year, first quarter of the year, I think,
in 2025, and there has been no new JID album since 2022. It's clear that this disappearance from JID is not an issue surrounding his work ethic, because if it was, he wouldn't be putting out so many great features where we still hear him getting better and expanding on his craft. He did have hella features last year. He wouldn't be on major arena tours with the likes of stars like 21 Savage. And knowing all of this and seeing what's just happened, we have now found out the sad and miserable truth, which is serving as the driving force that is sabotaging
he really did have a lot of features. He had one with Bia, he had one with BK the Ruler, he had one with that dude on 21 Savage label, I can't remember his name. He had hella features last year, I will say, and he dropped a couple singles and freestyles here and there.
Career of one of rap's brightest new acts, which is that when it comes to the relationship between JID and the label that J. Cole signed him to back in the late 2010s, things have gotten really bad over there, and because of the label's own failure, JID's chances at becoming rap's next all-time great are slipping right as we speak. And now, before we go any further, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it. It helps me out.
I'm watching this video about JID
a ton. And now, while
why he needs to leave Dreamville,
this situation with JID was only something we could speculate on, as we had no definitive proof of what was happening. Recently, we have found out just how awful of a place Dreamville has become, as after seeing J. Cole just have a year where, despite some high points, he has been slap in the middle of the biggest rap beef of all time, and has only been disappointing more fans with every move he has made. We are now hearing stories of the horrors going on inside this label from—
Why is he making it seem like it's the work? He's talking about the horrors inside the label. It's like, damn, bro, you dragging it.
Some of the roster of artists who were once seen as part of the label's bright future. And now,
yo, this is the day I met Boss.
Label from some of the roster of artists who were once seen as—
This the day I met Boss.
Such a celebrity.
Yo, that's crazy. He was literally wearing this fit when I saw him. And he told me he was on the way to the video shoot.
As part of the label's bright future. And now out of everybody on—
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we about to shoot the Down Bad video right now down the street. I was like,
dang,
what?
he just snitching.
Well, you know, when you're a local celebrity, you know, you get the inside information.
I know.
Type
He
shit.
didn't even mind blowing up the spot. He let you know in case you're trying to pull through. I see.
On Dreamville, the signee who blew the whistle on all of this was not a
Ari.
rapper, but was still one of the most integral members to the crew, as she added a voice and style that nobody else could offer in R&B singer Ari Lennox. And now recently, Lennox came out and went on a charged up rant about the label where she said, "Interscope and Dreamville have been playing with me all month and I am so exhausted. I'm so tired of people treating me like they're sorry for me. I'm okay and I've never been happier. What I don't like is being signed and lied to and manipulated. Not one person at those labels ever knew how to market or protect me. Y'all don't know the half. Constant letdown and neglect. This industry stuff will never be for me." And now with all of this, which first off, huge respect to Ari for speaking up about how she feels about her label mistreating her, because in the industry, these types of horrible situations happen way too often. And some artists either don't speak up or wait until their career is damaged in a way that they will never come back from. So with Ari taking action while she and a lot of other Dreamville signees are still prominent young names, and her revealing that the label has been lying and manipulating her, and that they have—
crazy young names, but they both in their 30s. It's funny because it's like they don't seem as old as they are, but like, how old is Ari actually? She is 33, and I think JID is 34. So they actually not that young. I mean, they're young, of course, but like overall, in terms of like music, yeah, he's 34. He's gonna be 35 this year.
Not been working in her best interest. From speaking out about this and going as far to say that nobody on the label is protecting her, which is definitely a sub at J. Cole, to then seeing the response other people in the industry had to hearing this, which showed Ari getting support from people who are veterans in the game like T-Pain. Because from what Ari is saying here, to the claims that came out earlier about the fact that a large part of people within Dreamville were escalating and pushing J. Cole to diss Kendrick Lamar, and that this is why Cole has ended up having such an uncharacteristic year for himself. Overall, when we look at the weird positions everyone in Dreamville is in, everything is starting to point to the fact that whatever principles Dreamville was founded—
Now, I would say, I wonder if he's gonna bring up Earth Gang, because like Earth Gang getting their contract or ending their contract with Interscope, I feel like is a big tell.
Have vanished, and just like pretty much every other great artist ran label in eras past have, the label is now on a downfall, and now circling all of this back—
downfall is crazy.
To J.I.D. When we look at his case, he only adds stronger proof to the fact that the current state of Dreamville is just a disaster right now, as when those same reports came out about the fact that J. Cole was forced to do something he never wanted to in the Kendrick beef, and that ultimately Dreamville were the ones who despised Kendrick Lamar and Top Dog Entertainment, and it never was J. Cole, and he was only following what all of the people around him pressured him into doing. J.I.D. came out to comment on all of this and didn't clear up these rumors and say that they were lies, but instead just made sure that his name was cleared of any issues when it came to a further beef between Cole and Kendrick's crews, and him being caught right in the middle of it, as he said that he was never one of the guys in Dreamville who were dissing Kendrick, which does imply that what was said about people pushing Cole to diss him in the first place was true. And then on top of this, JID also said that he doesn't even hang out with people in the label anymore. Now, as JID said all of this, but then deleted—
yeah, he said, I don't even hang, I don't think I saw this one. He said, nigga, what? I don't even hang with Dreamville and niggas like that.
that he doesn't even hang out with people in the label anymore. Now, as JID said all of this, but then deleted these posts right after, he pretty much ended up saying more than Cole and Ari did in a lot of ways, as he is showing that on one hand, he is fed up with Dreamville and that he is moving away from associating with the crew who brought him into the major.
But he hasn't been around like for a minute. Like people, like if you pay attention to JID, like people have been talking about that. It's not anything new, and it didn't happen just because of the Kendrick and Cole beef. Like he had already been kind of like to himself. He's talked about in interviews before, but it's crazy you could take something like that and try to spin it like it's about this when it's like whole time he's always been like that.
Label system in the first place, but at the same time, for whatever reason, JID is not going all out on them yet like Ari is, and is not demanding to be let go from the crew.
Because his career is doing the best out of anybody on the label. Yeah. And Ari, her frustration, she's always going to have a harder time because she does R&B, which is a lot more niche these days, versus hip hop, rap, where it's like the pill is way bigger.
Could be due to business reasons, because as we have seen over and over again in the music business and in hip-hop, so many artists are signed into shaky deals where their voice and agency when it comes to exercising their right to move on to new opportunities is limited. And now overall, while all of this may pose more questions than answers, still with the limited information that we know, it seems like between all of the turmoil in the label which has caused Ari to reveal the nasty truth, and even people like the duo who brought JID to J. Cole in the first place in Earth Gang being gone and separated from the label as well. All in all,
this is cap. Oh my God. The misinformation is crazy. They're not separated from the label. They aren't signed to Interscope anymore. They're still on Dreamville.
Seems like for whatever reason,
Niggas
something has shaken up the way Dreamville has been run, is with J. Cole seemingly being less active in other people's careers, as he is always seen minding his own business and protecting his peace for the most part these days. And then with all of the restructuring and shakeups we have seen in the industry this year in terms of where the staffing is going, which has directly affected labels like Dreamville. Overall, it seems like the wrong people have gotten hold of Dreamville, as J. Cole has been moving further and further away from the spotlight and from the lead role of this organization. And between Cole's inability to take charge and the way Dreamville has turned from a seemingly creative hub for some of the most gifted new hip-hop talent to now being a sensationalist farm, where they have become more reactive to the conditions of the industry and drama of the rap and music world, over actually prioritizing the art people are creating. Overall,
that's a crazy statement to me. Bro is just literally saying anything. How are they reacting to the industry? Like, all their artists still have their own individual artistry. Like, if you look at Earth King's last project, that is literally purely them just doing whatever the hell they want to do. Like, it has nothing to do with Dreamville in terms of like them. It's always the parent label, because the artist run label, Dreamville, is always going to have a limit on what they can do because they're run by a bigger label. Interscope, whatever issues someone's having on Dreamville, it's probably 80% chance most of it's coming from budgeting issues, staffing issues, whatever issues with a major label. And that's just kind of the con of being under a label that's under a bigger label. I mean, there's benefits, but it's like, even in terms of like the creative ability, like even look at TDE, like they're I think I don't know if they were with Interscope, but it's the same thing with them.
This is giving us the best answer to why artists like JID and Ari's true creative visions are being shelved, and why Cole seemingly released a song like 7 Minute Drill, which he never even wanted to. And while we don't know the full extent of what is going on, and until these artists speak out more, we just won't have the luxury of knowing, if this amount of artists who before this were seen as consistent and unproblematic figures are now revealing their frustrations, which all seemingly come from the same source, something has to be off. And for the future of JID's career as a rapper, hopefully we can find out soon about where this is all heading, because to see someone who had all-time great potential just wasted is sad. And for J. Cole,
how was his potential wasted? Like, yeah. I'm never watching a video from Bo again, respectfully though, because he's sensationalizing so much. Like, what?
While he may want to get away from hip-hop altogether at this point as we await and he creates his final album, The Fall Off, at the end of the day, he did sign up to create an imprint where he wanted to help other artists grow and become stars of their own. So if Cole no longer wants to do this and handle it responsibly, He should just do it the right way and help protect the
I'm just trying to understand how he's not handling it responsibly. Like whatever issues they have to deal with in terms of like the budgeting, marketing, all that, he had to deal with the same issues. That's part of the reason, you know, being on the label, you got to balance it, because you have to give them what they want so they can recoup their investment, and then you got to do what you want at the same time. And I do feel like all the artists on there have been able to do that in their own way with all of their projects. Like none of them have had to compromise their own artistry for a project.
talent he was supposed to be a mentor for, because the struggles that JID, Ari, and possibly others.
Which, let's keep it a buck. If all those artists, JID, Ari, all of them buys, if all of them was on another label or directly on a major label, their projects would have probably never came out, because they don't make the music that appeals to mainstream. So it's like, it's relative. Could they do better? Yes. But have they been given a chance to grow and develop artistically? Also, yes.
Going through are really some of the worst things that can happen to you as a newcomer in the industry, and can really rip up and destroy entire careers if not handled properly. And in an era and time, we're in a space like hip-hop.
I want to see the comments. JID leaving Dreamville will be the end of Drake. Yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Leave a like, comment, sub. Until next time, y'all, we're out.